Hi, I'm Tessa.
And I'm Heather, and we're going to be talking about sound as energy.
Sound is produced when an object vibrates. It travels away from the source and is longitudinal. It needs a medium to travel, and it travels at different speeds.
Amplitude has to do with sound, and it's measured in decibels. The softest sound can be heard at a level of 0. Sound travels faster when it's warm. The compression travels through all matter as a wave of energy. Vibrating an object pushes the particles of matter next to it and causes them to compress.
Humans hear from 20 to 20,000 hertz or waves per second. Sound travels slower than light, which is why you see lightning faster than you hear thunder. Loudness and pitch are not related because a high-pitched sound can be soft and a low-pitched sound can be loud.
And for our 3 experiments, our complex question is, what variables affect the pitch?
So for today's experiment, you need to know how to make a note into the bottle. When you're making the note into the bottle, place the bottle underneath your lips, then just make an O shape, and then tuck your bottom lip underneath your top teeth, and make the note. Do not blow into the bottle like that, because you won't hear the different pitches. Showing how the amount of water affects the highness of the pitch.
Our complex question is, what variables affect the pitch of sound?
So for our experiment today, the materials that we're using is a bottle that is half full and a plastic bottle that is empty. And we're going to show how the highness of pitch affects the sound.
Our claim is, the greater the amount of water in the bottle, the higher the pitch. So Heather's going to make a note into the empty bottle first. And then into the bottle that's half full of water.
So as you can see, the bottle that was half full has a higher pitch than the empty bottle. So our claim supported our evidence. And the reason why is because a bottle that is filled halfway has less space inside for the air to act like a stiffer spring, so the air vibrates faster.
And then an empty bottle has a large volume, which means that the air acts like a weak spring because a lot of air is moving around to change the pressure.
Today for our second experiment, we're going to be showing how different forms of matter inside the bottle affect the pitch. When we have salt, soap, and water. And here's our materials. We have just a container of soap and a container of salt. And so our claim is the bottle with the water will have a higher pitch. So I'm going to make a note into each of the 3 different bottles. As you can tell, this is a deeper pitch. This one's higher than the salt. And this one also is very high. So our claim does not support our evidence because the soap and the water both have high pitches, and we claim that just the water would have the high pitch. And we believe this to be true because the soap and the water have a lot more room for the vibrations to bounce off of each other. And then in the solid soap, it absorbs more of the sound. The salt, I meant. Absorbs more of the sound, so that allows it to not have vibrations.
Red one.
For our 3rd experiment, our question is, does the size of the plastic bottles affect the pitch? Our claim was that the smaller the bottle, the higher the pitch is going to be. So we have 2 plastic bottles, and they both are half full of water, and they're the same exact bottles. So Heather's going to make a note into the big bottle first. And then to the smaller bottle. And our claim did support our evidence because the smaller bottle had a higher pitch when we made a note into it compared to the bigger bottle.
In conclusion, experiment 1 was supported by our claim because the greater the amount of water, the higher the pitch. The bottle that is filled halfway has less space. The air acting like a stiffer spring makes it vibrate faster. An empty bottle has a large volume, which means that the air acts like a weak spring because a lot of air is moving around it to change the pressure. A bottle that is filled halfway has less space inside. The air acts like a stiffer spring, so the air will vibrate faster. Experiment 2, our claim was not supported by our evidence. The pitch was high in the water and the soap. We claimed that it would be high only in the water. The solid absorbed most of the salt. Experiment 3, our claim supported our evidence because the smaller bottle had a higher pitch compared to the bigger bottle.